Hey guys, it's Rob Neundorf, STR Accommodations. We're here at IMN 2024 in Austin. I'm here with a good friend of mine, Rajesh Jajoo, who operates out of Houston, Texas. Why don't you just give us a little quick background about yourself?
Okay, sure. So I would say I'm a mechanical engineer by education. I worked as a mechanical engineer in engineering companies, designing offshore platforms, refineries till 2016. At that time, I think oil went down to $20, and the project stopped. So at that time, I had to start looking for a new career, and I got into lending. I got a lending license, then I got into fix and flipping loans, and from there I started doing my own fix and flips, acquiring them, and then once I acquired them, I started slowly got into STR. My first house I did was in 2018, and slowly. So my business model is I purchase all my properties off market, and then I rehab them, and then I do STR on them or sell them, depends on property to property.
And how many properties you got now?
Currently I have about 20 properties.
Okay, 20's pretty good number. And
Yes.
we've known each other quite a while. How long would you say we've known each other?
I would say 4 or 5 years.
Okay, so we're doing a peer-to-peer, and we're just trying to answer some questions
Sure.
among fellow operators in the industry. So I'm just going to dive right in and just get a couple quick questions here, Mike. Sorry, Mike.
Sure.
How do you currently leverage data analytics and to optimize pricing strategies and to maximize your occupancy?
Yeah, so the tool I'm using is Price Labs. So that's what I've been using, and obviously you have to keep an eye on your city events. Sometimes Price Lab does not catch them, so you have to go manually add them. And then we have a circle of friends. Sometimes if I miss something and I got a booking and they say coming for Copa America, I let other STR people know that this event is happening, and Price Labs didn't pick it up, so please change your pricing, things like that. But yeah, based on I keep that, and keep a separate pricing for season. Summer season I have a separate pricing. So I think that's where I keep it, and I keep the prices high. Since my swimming pool houses, they get booked further, so 30 days ahead, pricing is much high, and then I do minimum 3 days, and then last week I start doing even 1 days, and last 14 days or within 30 days I start taking 2-day bookings.
Okay.
So things like that, I keep revenue.
Staying tech, dynamic, minimum
Yeah.
stays and stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
Could you share a success story where a unique marketing approach significantly increased your bookings for a property?
Unique marketing approach. Okay, yeah. What I would say that I don't know marketing, but the new thing I did is we just renovated our pool, and we added tanning ledge on it, on which you can put loungers that 6 inches in the water, and then there's a hole for umbrella. So the umbrella is there, and then you can put a tray table that you can screw on the umbrella metal, and so you have 2 pool loungers, and there's 2 fountains coming out of here, and in between there's a tray where you put your phone and drinks and just relax. So that's something new. I just did it on my pool house, and I think it's really making a difference. I think charging about $800 a night on a house which is built in the 60s, and I bought it for $250K in 2017.
That's awesome.
And this house is bringing me 80 to 100K a year.
All right, that's fantastic.
So I think upgrading pools, adding these new features that are pretty common in new pools, but it's not common in old pools.
Certainly. In your experience, what are 3 top qualifiers that distinguish an exceptional short-term rental property from a good one?
Exceptional good one. I think again, you have to, have best pictures. But again, sometimes I've seen that picture needs to be real also. I've seen some photographers taking 2 wide angles, and the property looks much bigger than that, and I get feedback that property is not exactly how It is. So we have to keep a balance on, this professional photographer and, do not edit it too much.
Sure.
Okay, I would just say means, amenities maybe.
Okay.
And, obviously get good reviews and stuff. Keep the, guest engaged. What I like to do is give them early check-in and late check-out.
Okay.
Sometimes as a traveler, I understand that's very important to you. So it could be additional revenue also, but 1 to 2 hours, I compliment it. And especially early check-in, especially if we don't have the same day checkout. I think people really appreciate that, and that gives you, good feeling from the guests.
Okay, we appreciate this. What challenges have you faced in managing guest expectation, and how often or how are you able to overcome them?
Yeah, I mean, that is tough. That's tough, especially in Houston with the hot and humid weather. We have a lot of pest issues.
Certainly, we're aware of that ourselves.
Yeah, I mean, everybody has that, and so we clearly send them in the messages that pest control is done regularly, and nobody really likes to see these critters, but unfortunately, there's a very low chance that you might see them. And so that's, something we try to keep guest expectations. And we clearly in our description mention which year the house was built in. Because most of the guests, if they're new, they're expecting a hotel, which is brand new. And so I always in my description say, this house built in 1972 has brick walls and, and we put it in extra things to know that this house has been taken really good care of, but still is a 50-60-year-old home. So that's why I try to keep expectations to where, then especially for people who have never been in an Airbnb, they might expect it, to be brand new.
Certainly.
We do try to upgrade things, but again, in the end, it's still going to be a 50-year-old home. So I think this managing expectations and the description of the age of the house.
I know they've added, but that's something that to put in the description. I've never thought of that, but that's an interesting.
Yeah. Like just to describe the house, this 4-bedroom house, 2-bathroom was built in 1972.
Yep.
Just not try to pinpoint, just telling about the house.
Sure. Sure. And then how do you see the future of short-term rentals and evolving, and what steps are you taking in order to stay ahead of the curve?
Yeah, I mean, looks like, there's always a knife hanging above your head from regulations. This business, again, there's so many factors. Your neighbors, I would say, have a good relationship with your neighbors. This is the most important, because tell them frankly that you and them are on the same page and you want to be a good neighbor. So if anything is not how it's supposed to be, they should message you first. So that's why I like that, and regulations. Sorry, what was the last part of it? If I didn't miss something.
No, just what do you see as the future trending of short-term rentals evolving, and what steps are you doing to stay ahead of the curve?
Yeah, I mean, again, my business model is slightly different. Like I said, I purchased the property pretty deep. So, and I basically, I try to STR them 1 to 2 years. Lately, I've moved out of the small 1-bedroom condos, because for me, the amount of work I have to do is same on a 1-bedroom house versus a 4, 5, 6-bedroom house. The part that I have to do is the same. So if I want to work hard and take the headache, I'd rather do it for a property this $500, $600, $700 a night versus $60, $70, $80 a night. So I remove the properties that are very low income producing and put them in long term. And I'm only focusing on properties that are 4-bedroom and higher. And so this way I can focus, and stay ahead of the curve and my focus is on properties that are big money maker rather than, the small one bedroom ones. So I think that's my focus, to stay focused on higher money making properties.
That's your strategic play.
Yeah.
What is a time that you can remember where we may have added value to your business or made the most impression upon you?
Oh man, I just cannot count the number of times that Rob has helped me. So means I would say Rob is one of the industry leaders, at least in Houston, if not all over the country. So any issues I have, I definitely consult him, and most of the time he will let me know his input very fast, if not the same day. So I really use his expertise in my business, and he's very helpful to not just me. I know him for a long time, means I consider him a friend, but he'll help even people who are his competitors. So that's where the difference is, means, he thinks of all of us as a community to grow together rather than cutting somebody else's throat and taking his business. So I think we are all together, and we have, I have asked him so many times, and he has, guided me many times.
And you're one of the individuals where, though you have a good sized portfolio, it's yours personally. So
Yes.
you tend to operate all of your own. Versus where we're talking to other operators who are operating. One of the questions we're asking is if there was a scenario where there's a hard no, where you just had somebody for either purposes you didn't have the support, you didn't want to, and you said no to working with somebody and you referred us, what would be some of the things you say you like about our company or that you admire about our company?
Okay, if I have to recommend somebody
So
to you,
you were saying, hey, I don't manage, but here's somebody, and
I have recommended you one or two people, I think, yeah. But again, if somebody I know, they come to me since I have done this for a while, and I tell them this is a very stressful business. So if you are a full-time, have a job or some other business, I do not recommend you to do it yourself. And I recommend you to, have somebody who does this for a living. And I definitely recommend you because of the system and processes that you have developed through years, and the amount of properties that you have, taken care of, and in multiple cities, right? You're in many places nowadays, right? So, yeah, I know you on a personal level, the amount of knowledge you have, it'd be hard for me to recommend anybody else. So I don't know what else to say.
No, we're just looking for, we just want to get people's opinions, so we appreciate that.
And I have recommended people and they have come to me asking me that, but I do not manage properties because, like I said, it's a very stressful job, and I can only take stress. I call these properties like my child. I love my children, but overall, I don't really love children. So I take care of my properties because they're my child, but I won't be able to do justice to anybody's else's property. So for them, I'll let them go to professional hosts like you.
Sure. Oh, we appreciate that. Do us a favor. Let's be brutal and honest and transparent. If there's anything you've ever heard of things that we're bad at or things that we can improve upon, we'd love to give you the opportunity. And, you don't need to name your sources or anything else, but where are areas that you've heard of other people, since we all do mingle in this community, that maybe how can we get better from what you're hearing from other people?
I don't know.
Or maybe things that you see of us,
Yeah, I don't know. I don't see your day-to-day operations, So it'd be hard for me to tell, to be frank. Yeah.
Sure.
I don't know what to say. I just don't know your day-to-day operations. It'd be hard for me to say anything because I do not know your operations, how you run them or anything. So
we're doing great.
I'm sorry.
No.
I just don't know.
It gives us the opportunity. We want to hear the good, the bad, and the ugly. We don't want to just hear the good. We want to hear the bad and the ugly as well.
But I'm just not able to remember anything much.
No, that's fine. So
Yeah.
my final question would be is again, we've got great hopes. We'd love to see where this goes. And so as we do this over the next year, one of the thoughts is if we look back to this video a year from now, how much difference can we as a company make to you? And so one of the questions is over the next year, as we continue to foster, the fellowship that we always do, how can I help you in your business?
Yeah, means like I said, means you're already doing that. So means more collaboration, anything new you learn, pass it on to us, which you already do. So means I just say keep continuing that, and yeah, means maybe we can. One thing I think we need to work on is like having a short-term Houston alliance or a group where we can have a lot of people who are members of that society. So if and when the regulations come, we already have a team of people to fight it back. I think we need to work together, all of us, to have like a short-term alliance for Houston, which I think is missing.
Certainly, and it's impending, and it's
Yeah.
coming. It's on the horizon.
Yeah.
So
So I think that's what we need to work, all of us
sure.
in this industry.
Oh, it's a collaborative effort.
Yeah.
It's not. It doesn't fall upon one of us. It falls upon
Yeah,
all
all of us. Yeah.
Well, Rajesh, I really appreciate your time.
All right, man.
Always
Thank
appreciate
you.
your friendship. Thank you for giving us a little bit more information
Sure,
about.
sure.
Cheers.
All right.